Guess I should stop replying to stuff on my phone, huh?
Yep, everybody always says something perfectly as the curtain comes up. I guess that's just how we do it here. Hello, I'm Lucas of Lucasgvariety, back with the bros of Robotech, the MACROSS SAGA? The MACROSS SAGA.
MACROSS salsa. It's very spicy and chunky.
MACROSS salsa.
Robo-salsa.
Yeah, it's chunky salsa. We won't tell you what it's made from, though.
Yeah, no question.
Soylent Green is made from people.
Okay, that's it.
Never gonna have a perfect opening, but this is even better. Anyway.
What are you talking about? I am perfection.
Okay, that's true.
We may have been a little bottled up after so long of not being here for this game.
Just a little.
That's true. That's true.
Got my hat on.
Well, welcome back,
Hey, you get to
everybody.
wear the hat again.
All the hats. All right, Season 2, Episode 1, Robotech, the MACROSS SAGA and Salsa. And we're back, us guys, tonight. And Frost Jaeger is very excited. So here we are. I'm just going to pass it upstairs right to the Game Master. We'll get started right now and no further delays. So, Mr. Mike.
I am the Robotech Master, Harukajunko, and welcome back, everyone, once again to Robotech, the MACROSS SAGA. And, we're just going to jump right into it. And we're going to zoom in on the SDF-1 as it's travels through space and all of that jazz to Archibald, who is currently sitting in a hospital bed, finally getting dressed in a uniform now that he's been out of work for a couple of weeks, mostly due to violent stabbing.
It hurt.
It hurt a lot.
Multiple gunshots through
Yeah.
multiple parts.
And a
All that
grenade.
stuff.
And I think there was a grenade involved.
I don't remember a grenade.
No.
Unfortunately, the crown jewels weren't hurt.
Yeah.
We could only be so lucky.
Yeah, but
He
Archibald,
definitely
you're
was.
sitting there, and Chuck Chuck's
Chuck.
visiting, checking on you, and he's
Good
like,
old
"So,
Chuck.
you finally ready to get off your ass and get back to work?"
Yeah. Still catch a little bit. Yeah. I'm great. Ready to
We got
sit.
a couple of new recruits that we got to go greet for Silver Squadron, because after that last one.
Well, it's glad that I'm getting to know my crew and I love them. So yeah, let's go meet them. But
And why do you never interact with us? He doesn't say this.
I'm learning, you son of a. It's Lucas's fault, not Archie's fault. But Lucas makes it Archie's fault. That's the problem.
I feel like at one point you're going to say something very profound, and there's somebody going to go, he probably doesn't know my name, and I've been here longer than him.
I gotta go look at these recruits. Silver Squadron members. There we go. So I'm like, all right, Chuck, I'm ready to go, but you are gonna have to carry me, of course.
Oh, come on! I always carry you. He gets up underneath you and helps you along. And for the most part, you are healed and you can get along with it. But he's at least helping you for a little bit because you've been stuck in a bed for like 3 weeks now.
Yep. And he probably would ham it up if I know Archie, like I think I do. I think he's gonna ham it up and have Chuck bear most of his weight for at least a little while.
And he just kind of looks at you and goes, I could drop you right here.
Just like right here on the cheek with him, like I know, but carry me.
Fine.
More dramatic this way.
Yeah, in uniform. Until I see a lady, then he just stands up straight at some point right off and like, yep, that's right, Chuck. Good fit men, perfect shape. Let's go. And on we march.
And eventually, you do get to one of the briefing areas where the squadron where several of the seats are filled in already by your other pilots that have survived. Slager Law, Lila Emilia Rira, Emma Sheen, and Kai Shinben.
Yeah.
And there seem to be a couple new faces there too, but that's kind of par for the course. What you're here for.
So tell me about these 4 corporals and a Valgado. Wait, am I getting some information along the way so I can know who to expect?
I'm gonna be giving you stuff when you actually interact with them.
Oh, Dang it.
That's why no one else has anything, resembling info on them. Because you don't know anything. They were just names on a list and they're dead now.
I hate you.
And they haunt your dreams.
Well, I think so. I think I've portrayed that they do haunt his dreams. I hope so. I think that's some of my drama in there. So I got 4 names I don't know anyone about. Let's take a look at them.
Well, give me 1 second while I pull up a couple of pictures here that I probably should have pulled up before session, but don't worry, we're doing this live.
They probably call him to attention, and then...
My ideals.
Shut up, you. You can't make any jokes because no one will get them.
Lost Alex out of the squad. Lost the other 6. Can't find Jacobs right now. Got 4 new faces to go with the other 4. And
Jacobs is dead. No.
walks in the room, and it's like, I don't know what the command is to bring him to attention. If it's special. If
Attention.
It's just attention.
You just call attention and stuff, and for the most part,
or Chuck does it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Chuck does it for you, which
That's better.
really does confuse some of them because they thought that you were the squadron leader.
Lieutenant on deck.
But yes, here we go. So we got you have a couple of people, everyone in the squadron who knows you snaps to attention almost immediately. Along with one of the new people, a silver-haired, about his early 30s-ish man with silver hair. His uniform is pristine to the absolute minute detail. Everything about him is meticulously done to look as best as possible in a military manner. Then there's another one. His uniform, while very well kept, is a little more kind of open, more relaxed style. Short brown hair. And he generally he's just kind of there, almost. And, stepping up from a position where his legs were up on a chair is another man with longish blonde hair. He's very much more relaxed. His uniform's, a little haphazard, and in general, he doesn't salute. He kind of gives you like a yo, what's up? And then there's the final member who's there with a shorter blonde set of hair, who had been tapping away on the table with a pair of drumsticks till you entered. And he kind of looks up at you with almost a wild look in his eye, like he could do anything or kill anything. I'll put these in Discord really quickly.
Yeah, because I'm like, remember all
Don't
that. Are these the incoming names on the Silver Squadron members? Yep. These are all.
Yep, these are all the new incoming people.
These are all gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a totally stable group of individuals.
I mean, of course. Have you seen their leader? Totally stable.
Tip of the scalpel, man.
Unfortunately, being so thin, the scalpel tends to break very often.
Oh.
Especially
constantly.
when wielded by untrained hands.
Madman and Veritech. I don't know where you put these descriptions, but so I'm looking at Annabelle, Gabby, Elador, and Io.
Yep. Well, you'll be able to figure out their names when when we get to that. But I'm going to post it into the cast chat for right now.
I just
images in
take
order.
a name off the list and I point at one randomly, like that's who you are.
It's him, EO.
You're EO. He's like, actually, that's not my name. It is now because I'm a monster. Okay, so you got the pristine guy first, and you got crazy. It looks like you can kill somebody after that.
No, the crazy one's about to come.
Oh, he's my favorite. I like his spiky hair.
Yep. And as for anyone in the chat, yes, I have taken the laziest approach possible and taken characters from another series to fill in for the, parties.
It's nothing new.
Nothing new.
Hey, I like how you've
Replication
used.
is the greatest form of flattery.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right. The bridge crew shall be named Misato and Shinji and Rei.
Okay. Shinji starts screaming his lungs out. For no reason, by the way. Just screaming.
Oh, he has a reason. It's called daddy issues.
And technically mommy issues, if you want to get into it.
Can we
of
not?
issues. Yeah, no, let's not get into it. That's a lot of problems there that we're not going to unpack in this session. But yeah. So
we welcome you, ladies and
who-
gentlemen, to the anime meme dab hour.
But yeah, so you said you pointed to a random name at the list. Anyone specific?
I was going to name them the names I chose to name them, but that of course would be cruel. No, I'm going to go
Blue Man Group. You guy.
I'm like
Target
Annabelle.
number 1, target number 2, target number 3, collateral number 1.
I'm like, he just looks at the paper and he's like, Corporal Gatto. And looks at
And the man with the silver hair, he steps to an even tighter attention than you thought he was possible of doing.
okay.
Which he was already in like perfect line for military regulation dress, drill, like competition wise, and he's just gotten even tighter. And he goes, "Sir."
I'd be like,
Is this normal Gato or MSGA Gato?
Shut up. You can't. You're not here. Go away.
so if someone doesn't understand that at all, I'll just say, yes, I am not. And I got Alex down there's like, haha. No, I'm just like, Gatto, I like your hair, silver, just like my name. It's good to see that you're already following in line. I like it. You're pristine. He goes, do you listen and do what your commanding officer tells you to do?
As long as the orders aren't stupid or cowardly, sir.
Good. And I order you to relax a bit. Go sit in a chair over there.
He seems perplexed at that, but goes to an at ease position, military, regulation at ease, but he sits down.
No. Lean back a little bit more.
And,
I want you to.
he kind of like scoots back a little bit and relaxes a little bit, but it's going to take some work, it seems.
Chuck, go over there and rub his shoulders. Now, next on the list, Corporal Hazard.
And so you have the one with the more short kind of black hair. He goes, "Yes, sir."
I don't remember this guy's description, what you said about him. I'm trying to keep up with all of them. I just remember the pristine guy.
He's kind of he's compared to Gato, there's definitely a step down in the minute details, but he's very much still there for military credence and that stuff. He doesn't seem to be directly, he's not there in like a t-shirt and polo shorts.
Like, what was it? I'm trying to go by his last name. Hazard. I use Reckless as your name. Just kind of see what he has to say.
Depends on what the job is, and seeing as our job is scalpel, I guess I would have to be pretty reckless.
Yes. Reckless in an orderly fashion. Can you keep that in mind?
I can do it. I can do it the same. Just don't get in my way when the guns start getting hot.
That's how we lost people last time. We don't shoot our own. It gets up really close and serious. He's like, now, I want
Wasn't
you to...
planning on it.
Okay, good. He's like real close to him. He's like, now you.
Yeah.
Stand in attention even more. Opposite of him over there.
And he does so. He doesn't, he kind of adjusts himself a little bit. He doesn't really seem to mind, but he does seem to be forming an opinion of you.
Oh, good. and then
As everyone here is, you know.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally probably effing it up bad, but on purpose. So I'm like, Cadet Massus?
You hear, boss.
That's Eliador. Okay. So
And he kind of, throws his hand up, like, kind of relaxed. And like I said, he's got, long blonde hair, definitely outside of most military regulations. And his uniform is very much more it's very much more relaxed. Like, his jacket's open, breathing. And to be honest, he's just kind of relaxing there. He's still popped up to attention, and his attention does work. It's just, you can definitely tell from between him, Gabby, and Gato that this is there's a slow decline in the military
that's fine.
bearings here.
Bearing.
He's got long hair. Is it? I want to go up and like, your hair looks fantastic. What products do you use?
All natural, Commander.
All natural oils from your own head? And he's just,
No, just yeah, sir. It's all. Don't need to put any products in your hair. That's how you get it built up and with a whole bunch of crud and stuff inside of it.
Archie's like, well, no, what? And he's like, because he's thinking of like the 5 different products he uses in his hair at least twice a day. He's like, I like you. All right, Eddie's. And then he steps over. That's it. That's all he gets for this guy. He's cool. Mm-hmm. And then right to, he's like, Cadet Fleming. Must be you.
And like I said, he's got, very short, kind of jagged hair, wild eyes. His uniform is rather unkempt, and even though he's standing at some form of attention, he's kind of idly tapping his thighs and his thigh to a beat of what you would hope, which you might think is like music or maybe a nervous twitch.
You said he was the crazy looking one?
Yeah, he definitely looks at you, and he's not like, it's not like he's, he doesn't look like he's the crazy hobo from down the street, also known as Ivan.
Oh boy. I didn't say that, by the way.
But he definitely he's definitely he definitely seems to what would be the best way to say this?
I don't know. I'm worried though.
Oh, you'll have to ask him and find out. That'll be better.
Okay.
It's just something off-putting about him.
You look like you got a short fuse. Am I right? Wrong.
Well, he kind of thinks on it for a second and goes, don't really think so. Not, at least not when I got the music going.
It's like that, eh? The beats. I had a guy like you in my crew. Loved him. Loved that kid. He's still around, though. He's not dead, which is great. I don't want you to get dead either. Are you ready to fight when the time comes?
Of course. Nothing these alien bastards can throw at us. And they'll just add up to our kill tallies combined.
Ooh. Kill tallies. Competition. I like it. Let's get this going. Let's get a pool going in this office. Anyways, all of you, corporals and cadets, I know I'm a little bit crazy. I'm nursing a wound still. And I just miss... Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She's gone. Anyway, welcome. You guys need to relax. I'm Lieutenant Archibald, Servo 3rd. This is Chuck. That's all you need to know. Just Chuck. Chuck's great.
Yeah.
Chuck.
And
what?
Chuck, he does his, he gives he kind of gives a nod because he's supposed to be your 2IC and the serious one of you two.
I don't know. Like if he does that, he probably stops massaging that guy's shoulders. I'm like, wait, I didn't tell you to stop.
Oh no, he never went over and started massaging. He didn't even do that. He heard that and was like, no.
So maybe by the end of this, I'm like over there actually massaging that guy's shoulders. I'm just like, well, someone's got to do it. And I'm like, anyways, all of you guys relax. get a drink, let's hang out, let's get to know each other. The crew that knows each other better works together better, and we'll tell you about our own little crew rituals and things like that. Anyways, at ease, guys. Come on. And that's what he does.
The guy that you're massaging his shoulders, he does kind of slowly slip out of reach of your hands like that. It's like, God, thank you, but I don't need it, sir.
All right then, you're good. Clap him on the back, Robert. You're a good lad. He's probably older than me. Yeah, I don't know what to say. He just basically
I did
says,
say he was about in his early 30s or so.
Oh, I forget where Archie's at. That sounds about right. No, I think he might have been in his... I don't remember where my age is. Either way, I'm not sure where else you want to go in the scene, but he tries to meet him. He tries to introduce him to the other ones, get them all to hang out, relax, and like just, not start a party, but conversation,
Yeah.
That's it.
And for the most part, both the new and old members seem to be getting along for the most part. Gato, well, in his own way, attempting to, how shall we say, mingle, starts picking out, military regulations and quoting them,
Oh boy.
at the same time, he also, talks about how, these damn aliens should have been nuked the moment that they came into orbit, which technically they were.
All right, well.
Gabby Hazard, he seems to be getting along pretty fine. He's mingling. EO seems to be a little bit off to his own, but he's also tapping away with his drumsticks and setting up a pretty nice little beat going on. Well, Elidor is talking about music in this song called "The Face of the Coin," and how he actually has a nice collection. And also talk about his record collection that he has.
All right, get to mingle with them all. I mean, definitely gonna dance to that beat, and try to get some of the other squad to dance to it later on, and then talk about personal interests and things of that nature. Archie's been trying to
follow the beat, though. The beat itself is wild and kind of never sits into a home like a rhythm itself. It keeps swapping, but doesn't feel like it's lost in a continuous transition.
Interesting. Sounds like when I try to make music. What was that? Sorry.
I said, unlike that thunder that should go away.
Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, it seems like no one really has any problems, at least, with the initial, meet and greet. The old people are, a little more clumped together. The new guys are, everyone's kind of chatting and doing what they can, and it seems like it's going okay.
Well, I'll try to, maybe, I don't know if I have to make a roll or anything, but with Chuck's help, maybe just try to, have everybody mesh, and maybe it's military that has to bring them together or something. I mean,
okay,
my number one drama is...
You can try that.
My number one... some of these guys look like they want to be competitors, at least a couple of them. So maybe I can play off my drama, which is rivalry with Skull Squadron, and be like, listen, Skull Squadron, they are the best of the best, except for us. We need to bring in higher numbers. So maybe this is time to renew Silver Squad.
Right, so if you want to roll for that, something like that, you can.
I do. May as well get a roll at the end of all this and see how it goes, right? Increase burnout.
Which, Chuck will support you with cover your buddy and contacts everywhere.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, my burnout's 7, so I can have up to 7 now total. All right. Excuse me. So I'm going to be responding quickly, probably with counter position. And I'll be using man at arms, so talking about tactical knowledge of how we can better fly as a squadron over Skull Squadron, and just in general as ourselves. So that would be a 4 and a 3, or 3 and a 4.
And Chuck gave an interesting roll here.
I should probably take a
that
look.
I've hidden from you because I'm evil.
Where do I go to roll again? It's been too long.
This is the one that we have to manually input.
Is it? Okay. That's
Number of d6 with the greater than 5.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I had made I used Captain's algorithm here, I think. So what was it, 7? How many dice?
Remember, you got to combine your 2 skills.
Yeah, so total of 7. I have
Which was
3 and a 4.
Yep. So then it was 76.
Target number.
And target number would be 5.
5. I'll take it.
Mhm.
1, 2. Not as good as I would like it to be to roll 7 dice. But let me look at my wheelhouse stuff.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could always try to play into one of your natures for a reroll.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to look. There's the demeanor, so showboat, and disposition of fearless. Fear is your own safety. No waiver from danger. But my demeanor is a showboat. So I think I would actually, after that demeanor was a showboat in the first, I think I'll drop that later, and it'll be my disposition coming out. I'm like, I ain't afraid. We need to do better than those guys. So do I do reroll the misses?
That was actually a mistake from me. You actually rerolled the entire set.
Oh. All right then.
And then you take the new total.
That is going to be 7.
Hey, there you go.
Yep,
1,
7
2, 3,
successes.
4, 5, 6,
7 successes, and you had...
I will take it. And Chuck being awesome gave me 7 more.
So you're... he doesn't give you 7 more, but he does give you 4 more.
Wow. That's a great number. 11 then.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yep. So you're able to kind of break the ice between the 2 groups of them rather effectively, bring them together with maybe not like the equivalent of the other, but with someone that you think that they match well with. Like Anna Volgato, it takes him a bit, but him and Emma Sheen seem to be really getting up and chatting both about military regulations, how uniforms should look, and previous battles that you guys have been in. It seems like Elidor, Io, and Kai have all kind of secluded over into a corner and just started rambling on about music over and over, from the classics
That's
to
good.
rock and roll.
That's good.
Meanwhile, Gabby Hazard, Leela, and Sliker all seem to just be able to get along and chatting up a storm just about anything. But it seems like you have broken the ice with them.
Good. And I'll just kind of, he'll like be involved, but once they really get going, he'll just kind of pull himself out, like kind of phase back out, and just kind of then like hands off and let them all at the same level mingle. And Chuck can stay with him if he wants or not. It doesn't matter. Archie will just kind of like, and try not to break it worse than.
No. Chuck stays by your side and kind of backs off when you do, just letting people get to go with each other. And now I'm going to switch it over to Soundwavesghost, Captain. Mr. Captain O'Captain, what might you be doing around noon on the 5th? Taking a sippy cup sip, yes. Oh, have you just converted it from a wine glass now to a sippy cup?
Yes, they kept breaking them with all the constant attacks over the time, so I had to revert to a plastic cup. Undignified, but it's what I have to do.
Amazed you haven't cut out the middleman and got one of those like booze hats, the cup holders.
There's no place to hang a booze hat on my captain hat and not obscure my captain hat.
What about a Captain Booze hat?
Booze backpack.
It weighs it down and it droops into my eyes and I can't see when I walk.
Booze backpack.
Booze backpacks is hot and sweaty, and I don't want hot and sweaty wine.
But what might you be doing around the time that all of that is happening with them?
I mean,
there's been a lull in the attacks lately.
Yeah,
Not completely stopping. They've kind of just been prodding the defenses every now and then.
yeah.
only coming in with maybe a couple swarms of fighters and battle pods,
Something that's
enough that
easy to
your
manage.
defenders can launch and deal with, But of course, with the stretched out, with the amount of time you guys are in combat, with just basically 24/7 on alert, your people are starting to, get a little bit antsy, a little tired.
I think I'd be on the bridge, to be honest.
All right.
Bags under his eyes, but he's just staring off at the screens, and space, just trying to piece it together because he's got that nagging feeling that there's something going on here he's not seen yet, but he can't quite grasp it because, well, it's not like Earth where you could actually still see them in a way. They'd vanish off into the distance and get behind something. And with jump capabilities that we have, they can just jump out. And they know where we're headed.
Their
It's pretty
jump
obvious.
capabilities seem much better than yours.
Well, ours don't work right now.
Exactly, they're way better.
They are functional. Ours are broken and lost. But, anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much what he's going to have been doing. Is he's going to basically stay there until he just can't keep his eyes open. Then he'll wander back to his room to sleep. But every day he's just poring over maps, poring over data, just trying to, what is the word I'm looking for here? The analyst angle.
And your crews and just about the entire bridge crew, they've had to set up a third shift and at this point they're kind of piecemealing people into that third shift to try and keep up with the abilities of needing sleep and food along with keeping the ship defended.
Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to invoke machinations, but I don't really have a lot of work to go with that. So that's the idea is what he's doing. He's just trying to piece together what's the major plan. Because this is planned, obviously. They could have come at us constantly with a huge force, obviously. Because every time they did, we whooped them, but it cost us too. But they just keep coming back with these little guys. They don't have to if they can throw so much at us. And they just come out and do it the next day. And that's bugging them.
And even people like Lisa Hayes are, at this point, even she is starting to feel the effects of almost constant combat. And while your position may not be as dangerous or as active as the fighter pilots, everyone up on the bridge is still suffering around the same level of stress as everyone else.
Well, tiredness makes
at this
mistakes.
Point, And it's at this point you get a suggestion from someone who maybe you really hadn't expected a suggestion like this from, but it's once I scroll back to their page, but it's Sammy.
Sammy.
Sir, I know that everyone's rather tired and worn down, sir. So maybe with the upcoming Miss Macross competition coming up, we could position a skeleton crew to man the stations. Give everyone a day, as best of a day off as you can. Give the most rested squadrons patrol duty.
Yes, for the patrol squadrons. I'll meet you halfway on bridge crew. We'll designate a terminal to watch, but we'll need you to still here just in case of an emergency.
And she nods and she says, "That's fine. I just it would be really bad if we were all really tired and the enemy attacked us with anything more than the forces we've seen."
It's going to happen regardless.
But at least if we can give people a day off, it might give us a better chance.
Skeleton bridge crew, but the people on bridge crew will rotate between themselves for that terminal still. As much as possible, I will be here.
Well, sir, why don't you go? Sir, we can all see it. You've barely even sipped at your wine today. You're exhausted.
I've done worse.
Well, I mean,
He shakes his head. He's tired. Look,
sir, we can handle the bridge. We can handle the bridge, a single terminal for a day, and we'll keep you on. And we'll let you know the moment that anything looks out of the ordinary.
out here, everything's out of the ordinary. Sammy, ma'am, I'm I'm calling you by personal names now. I'm so tired. I'm not leaving my bridge until I know I can, and I feel something. And usually, the last time I had this kind of feeling, the Russian in the hold nearly got the drop on my ship when I was still out at sea. So, with all respect, thank you.
And she gives a nod and a quick salute and goes back to her internal communication station. And she's also pulled up an extra book of looks like flight squadron, what you might call the flight squadron, how to command flight squadrons from the bridge for dummies. She's looking into it and she's like just kind of muttering to herself between, times that she actually needs to, communicate something, send squadrons to engage enemy, but make sure not to tell squadrons to push too far. And she's just kind of going off on that. And next up, we're gonna switch to Alex Matz. Alex, how are you doing, Alex?
He's been trying to sort of find what to do with a lot of his time. Now that he's no longer flying and just working on the bridge instead. I think at this point in time, what he's been up to is sort of wandering around Macross City while off duty, looking for inspiration for another song because he hasn't written a new one in a while. It's just been repeats.
Yeah. You know what? Then give me a roll for something.
Uh,
Yeah, any two skills you think might help you figure out a song. And depending on what you choose, this will actually. I can even lift this rock. But depending on which skills you choose, it could actually infect with what type of song you make.
all right.
That wine drinking fool done stole my ship.
Fly me to the moon really fast, 'cause it sucks here.
I think to try to make sort of a song that is inspiring and helps to lift morale, I'm going to use Star Quality and Rally Cry.
All right.
Because those are the two kind of elements that are going to be present in the song.
All right, that makes sense. And you'll be in your entertainer element, definitely.
So what will the target number be for this?
Your target number... Actually, you will not be in your element because... you will not be in your element, so your target number will be 5.
Why wouldn't this be in my element?
Because the performer element is specific, or rather the entertainer element specifically is for performing.
Ah, okay. Ooh.
That's a beautiful number.
Oof.
Would you like to attempt to re-roll that with one of your natures?
Let's see. Would Showboat work for that in some way?
I'd say you could make it work since you're going to be making a product that can be shown about.
Yeah. Okay. Good God. That is better than 0.
better.
3 successes.
That is better
if
than
I-
0.
Mm-hmm. Well, just so you know, I'm also I forgot to mention this when we started the session, but I've taken a note out of one of my one of my GM's playbook. When you're rolling stuff and you get no successes with 3 1s, it is a critical failure and fun stuff happens.
I thought we
By
were
the
in
way,
this
doing
case,
that
had
beforehand.
what
Oh.
are my wounds looking like right now?
You've recovered at this point.
Okay, so fully.
New season, new crew.
Okay, so how does the
You are
song
no
come?
longer dead. So the song, you're not able to get the full picture of the song, but you kind of think back on Silver Squadron and how everything worked for a while. Well, before the Ivan incident, and it
Shoot
was an
some
incident.
people
I
with
see those eyes over there.
You shoot some people and people suddenly don't let it drop.
But yeah, no. So it takes you a bit. You kind of start mingling, kind of not like a jazzy, but kind of more like an up tempo swing, uh, kind of style of song when you're kind of thinking about it. And it's mostly instrumental. You decided that words truly won't bring the people to, you know, at least in your mind, they won't bring people to, back to where morale was. But you figure that maybe something upbeat, something people. Yes, we are. But you figure that the noise and just something a little more upbeat than traditional, elevator music that's playing in the background, which is what's just happening in my head canon. Everywhere is just playing elevator music, which is why everyone's
Easy
so
listening.
sad half the time. Mm-hmm.
The town gets easy listening. The rest of the ship gets literally.
Yeah.
Because it's just to make the sound like there's some sea outside or something. It's a
Yeah,
little
it's just
bump,
wave noises.
but it's super low.
Every now and then
because
you have.
you have to actually stop and listen for it. Because even
Every
the
now
step
and
of
then
walking
there's
turns it
a very faint whale sound.
up. That's actually space whales, but okay.
And though there was that one time someone thought it would be funny and they started playing sonar detection noises really loudly. That person was reprimanded very harshly for that.
Well, I mean, we were gentle in the reparation. He just has to clean the outside of the ship just like you would a regular ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a very
He's
long trip
still
for that
working
guy.
on that.
It's going to be a long trip for that guy.
Yeah, that guy's still working on it, by the way. Because would you even give him a destroid to help clean the outside of the hull?
No,
he's doing,
he's not
he's
cleared
doing
for
with his
that.
toothbrush.
He's out there with a sonic broom.
Yeah, he's out there with the sonic broom. Just he's got his Canute valves locked down so that way he doesn't fly off the hull like last time.
Last time.
Or alien.
There's a long story. But yeah, no. It definitely the swing music's upbeat and it's definitely gonna. You think it's gonna definitely help, but it's gonna take a little more work for the song to come around. But
Right.
out in the city, things are as stable as they can be at this point. What businesses can open have opened. What businesses can't have stayed closed or tried to do something else. There's posters everywhere for the Miss Macross contest. There's every billboard displaying it. Everything is displaying it. And it's been the talk of the town for the past couple of weeks at this point.
Am I gonna have a shift off to go watch? Do I know? Or or are they really taking the assignments shift by shift at this point?
It's been kind of shift by shift, but there has been talk of someone going up and talking to the captain about getting as much of the ship off duty as possible. So, who knows?
I wonder how that person's get on.
Oh, they're dead now.
With the captain, who knows? They might get chewed out.
Mm-hmm. But for the most part, the days amongst the city just start to blend together and almost like a hellish Groundhog Day, where the first things you hear in the morning are the alarm sounds from the morning engagements, squadrons being called up for duty. Occasionally, you hear Silver Squadron got pulled up for duty, but for the most part, it's
very
just
infrequently.
hmm they were only pulled up when it was absolutely necessary, and all the other squadrons were dying of exhaustion or something. But for the most part, it's just blended together these past couple of weeks, especially after now that you have technically no job in the military. I say technically because they're still working on your booth for you. They wanted it extra soundproof on captain's orders
Yeah.
with several shutout
Inside
switches.
and out.
Yeah,
One of
and
them on the
they
desk.
wanted it to be yeah, several shut off buttons, and just everything that you might need for both communications and morale, and whenever the captain might think you're too annoying and shut you off. But besides that, it's been okay. That's about as best you can really say for it. And unless you have anything specific you want to do, it's going to be over to the Russian, the team killer.
I think I'm about done for now.
Okay.
Russian TK master.
Yes.
Again, I can't help if they flew in front of my bullets.
His KD is very high, but the system makes no distinction between friend or foe.
You turn back an entire wave of enemy foes, and everybody thinks that it's all a joke. So, but yeah. So set the scene for me, Robotech Master.
Yeah, so I don't think you're down in your hangar right now. It's been a couple of weeks, and the destroy units have been kind of shifted through different deployments. The monsters have rarely been called up, and so you've been kind of set on. Well, okay, Thor. You've been set up on more or less alert status when we need you.
Talk to the god of thunder like that.
Yeah, I'll sass him if I want to. But
laughs and snores.
yes, but for the most part, everything is kind of at the same time. It's blended together. It's not the traditional military blend together, mostly because the outside of the hull is exposed to space, and you can't exactly go get fresh air when you need it. The coffee is stale. You've heard rumors that they've had to start reusing coffee grinds.
Oh, good thing I'm a vodka man.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, how has the vodka distribution process?
Well,
been?
There was a small mistake inside of the brewing process, so you guys had about a week there with nothing. Morale hit rock bottom. People thought it was worse than the time that you got attacked on Mars.
It is lamentable, indeed. An officer should never allow his troops to go without their spirits. So, but
Though you do know that there is a flyboy who's been brewing up his own booze.
Competition.
Mm-hmm. Seems he's
what
somehow
kind?
got. Well, he actually has 3 different. Rumor has it he has 3 distilleries set up inside of his bunk room. He's gone so far as, getting the room set up to where he has one of the larger bunk rooms, but has been gifted without a bunk mate. And so supposedly he's brewing up crappy beer, uh, vodka, basically whatever grains this guy can pick out of people's lunches and his own lunch and dinner. He's throwing it in there and brewing some kind of alcohol.
Okay, so he's an amateur compared to a bunch of Russians who are
More like he's attempting to get as much as possible, but at the same time, with speed does not come the best product. But at the same time, when you're trying to get enough alcohol for the entire flight divisions of what's left on the SDF-1, quality is not expected.
okay. So, well, with that then, where do I find myself if I'm not in the hangar?
I'm gonna say you're just out and about in the city. You're on alert, but when needed, and so you've kind of taken the day out to go out to the city and kind of explore, because I imagine you don't come up here too often. Mostly because the Russians are kind of have their own little, camp they've set up inside of the Daedalus in their corner of it. So they've kind of locked it down in that area, but you kind of mostly stick around there, keeping people in line and that stuff. And today you just kind of felt like, I need something new. I'm going to die of lack of alcohol if I don't.
Okay. So, well, in that case, he's going to, of course, go to probably the first place he can think of where fun can be had. Whether that be good booze or a good fight, and that'll be the bar.
Well, there's
Preferably
exactly
the seediest one that there is.
Well, luckily, there's not much of a choice, mostly because most of the others haven't been able to get any level of alcohol production, or much in the way of food production. Basically, most of the bars at this point have turned into just kind of like pool houses.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is not much better, but it seems to be getting they seem to have set up some level of their own brewery. Either that or they've stolen some level of alcohol, but who knows?
Or could it be that also they may have bought some booze from say, my Russians, since we were going to try to distribute some of the vodka?
I feel like that they tried to do that at one point, but due to the recent vodka shortage of 20, what year would it even be at this point? Now I've got to pull up my timetable here. I think it's still 2001 though. Sorry about this, 1 second.
It's all good.
Robotech will return after these
2009.
messages.
Yeah.
So.
October 2009, so it's probably November. Give me 1 second.
October. The hunt for Red October. The hunt for Red October. Brand vodka, of course. That is now going to be the brand of vodka that the Russians produce, is Red October brand vodka.
Sounds good. Not Robo Vodka. Yeah, Robo Cola.
Oh, why would you let the Robos make the vodka? No, it is good, strong Russians making excellent vodka. 900 proof. Not 900 proof. Please don't drink 900 proof.
You just drink a little bit.
Enjoy responsibly.
900 proof.
Don't drink paint thinner.
That's not paint thinner. That's straight up just pure ethyl alcohol.
That sounds delicious.
What do you think paint thinner is?
Slightly watered down ethyl alcohol.
I like that Red October vodka, 900 grain. Drink responsibly.
I was about to be amazed here for a second because I thought you just held up an actual vodka bottle. I was like,
Nope.
"Jeez, Lucas, already hitting the bottle."
Saucing it with this water, this salt water. Oh, disappearing a little bit in the back. It is a little bit. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Have you heard? There we go.
Robotech returns.
Yes.
Fly the plane, Dan. Fly the plane. Where's the Veritech?
Oh,
Come on, wait. This
I don't know.
is,
It's been too long.
come
I
on.
blew us up.
Season 2. It should have been there in the beginning. We should have double checked. We should have put that on the checklist. That's my fault.
There is no Veritech because I blew it up, of course.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
For the glory of Russia, of course.
Well, I was waiting for it, but I guess. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
All right, we can continue.
But
Now we can go
so
on.
this part has set up some level of it's some way, you're not exactly sure how, it has some level of alcohol, and your groups currently have none. And so you pop up in there and the place is packed and it's basically filled with smoke. You were when you opened the door at first, you thought the place was burning down, but it's more just filled with the smoke from other pilots, destroyed pilots, fighter pilots, crew, random civilians. Though there are a few civilians who seem to tread into this bar with this many flight jocks and destroyed jocks in the area.
Smells like home. Then Ivan will toddle up to the bar. With his prodigious size, I imagine it's probably not too difficult to urge some people out of his way.
It's surprisingly a little difficult just because of how many bodies have packed into this place. You know, there's actually like a little buffer of people between you and the bar. And when you try to kind of start pushing up, someone's like, "Hey man, there's barely enough room at the bar. Half of us are smoking. You gotta stand here next to the bar. If you want something, we'll pass your order up."
Okay, well, Ivan...
Bite.
Ivan will order whatever the house special is.
You hear that, and you're almost certain you heard someone scream, "Put 2 dirt clods in the fire."
It really is like home.
And what you get is, the house special is a chunk of bread with some brown alcoholic smelling liquid. And we're talking murky, like mud water.
So, Ivan appraises it just briefly. He's like, well, it's bad for a rookie. And then he'll just bottoms up.
Yeah, and now you understand why they have the bread there, is to get rid of some of that, to sop up some of that flavor, hopefully, because God, this thing tastes fucking horrible.
The only thing you drink it for is to get drunk.
So, are we talking like just like bad, really early off the barrel scotch with that horrible burnt rubber taste?
No, it's more like it just tastes disgusting.
I like that.
And a couple, but as you're downing your drink and probably hoping to dab up some of it with some adequate tasting bread, the bread is by far the best part of the meal. There's a couple of tables that's been set up for pool. Pilots are playing, and some money's getting thrown around. People are betting on the Miss Macross competition. There's this giant board there with the list of competitors. and the bets down on them for winning the Macross competition.
Who's the current favorite to win?
Give me 1 second. I had it written down here somewhere. I can't remember it. So it's just some. And from what you understand, a couple of pictures that have been posted up, which some of them are. Well, you kind of know the type of pictures fighter jocks and mech jocks like to take of their women.
Yep.
She's rather attractive in many carnal ways, and that seems to be what's driving most people up on that one.
And
long red head, that almost olive tan skin with
so Greek.
she seems to be somewhat descended of Greeks with rather well attributes, to say the least.
And where does because I know that I also had to put forward a squad member for the Miss Macross contest at the behest of the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Where currently does Lieutenant Danilovna sit in the rankings?
She's sitting out of the I believe it was originally 23 contestants. 23 eager ones. Basically, it's down to the top 23 at this point before actually going into the competition as Mecha's face disappears. But for the most part, she seems to be sitting somewhere roughly about 15th.
Did you say this was Zakova?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The one that Archie's pledged his heart to?
Yep. Yep, she's sitting about 15th in at least this bar's standings of who's gonna win.
That's good.
And what about Melody?
Melody, she's up on the list. Probably somewhere about 14th.
So she's placed probably right. So Zakova is 15, Melody is 14. So it's just like.
And for the most part, it seems like people have kind of led, this being the fighter jocks bar. Everyone up in the top, 10 or so, are the most physically attractive women. By, general standards of, pilots who've been stuck in space for several months.
Yeah.
The bar is not exactly high, but it's higher than you would imagine.
But I assume there's a bookie there?
Oh, yes, there's a bookie they have the prize money behind them in a comically large jar that's 80% full of, ones, 20s, even several hundreds.
So Ivan will go up to the bookies nothing bad pots. Where's the butt sitting now?
And he kind of flips through a couple of has to flip back through a couple of pages to where you see a whole bunch of scribbled out math in the back. And it's about 3,000.
3,000. Not bad. And Ivan will reach into his jacket because he's probably in personal clothes, but it's probably military leisure clothes underneath, probably an outside jacket.
Yeah, so, it's the traditional, you got a jacket and some pants on. I hope you've got pants on.
Yeah.
It's the traditional military wear for the destroyed pilots and basically anyone. It's not dress uniform, but it's fancy enough that most people might think it's a dress uniform, but it's really just a nice uniform.
But Ivan will pull out his billfold, which is pretty prodigious. It's probably got the whole sickle and star motif on it and like worked brass and all that stuff, just because he is decently wealthy for his rank.
Mhm.
So he's like, and he just starts counting out bills. Is like 2,000 on number 15.
And he kind of he just nods, and your name?
Ivan Suranova.
No, even sure, no. And the moment you hear him, the moment that you say your name and he starts writing it down,
Uh-oh.
Wow, what a
I
cliff,
think
no.
what a cliffhanger!
I think Robotech Master just got struck by lightning.
He got
We
roboed.
shouldn't have made fun of Thor.
the tradition. Okay, I'm back. I think.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Okay.
What a
My
cliffhanger, man! That
name
was suspenseful.
So the traditional, record screeching to a stop is heard as the jukebox is stopped, and you can feel a good number of eyes on you as the bookie kind of just writes it down and puts the money in the pot. He has no business making judgments because you're throwing money in and hopefully about to lose it all, so that way he can make some money.
So, pleasure doing business. So I take it here after competition, yeah.
Come back here after the competition. We divvy out the winnings to those who paid money, and you know how it is.
Yes. Yes. So good to see the old traditions still exist. So
And
so
from behind you, you hear a drunkenly scrawl of old traditions of shooting down friendlies. Is that right?
so and Ivan just kind of ignores it and is like, all right, well, I suppose one more round of that swill, and then I can be on the my way.
And you go to turn around, and there's about three of them have actively kind of stepped up behind you. Uh, Two of which, all three of them are about, they're tall, they're bulky, they're a mix of fighter pilots and destroy jocks, it seems.
So, but there's three of them.
But there's three of them, and at least one of them looks like he's totally pissed.
Gentlemen,
You ain't no gentleman. Only place you should be is leaving, because you're trouble wherever you go.
Ivan kind of looks around. It's like, I don't think I've caused trouble here yet.
And it's at this point, you look around, everyone has their eyes on the situation, looking between you and the other guys, because it's been a couple of weeks, and people do talk, and it seems like at least one of the groups may have talked, or someone in one of the groups may have talked, and you know how it works. One enlisted person talks, five others talk, and suddenly everyone knows.
It's a small ship.
Yeah, it's a very small ship, and you're packed into it for the next couple of months. Have fun. But yeah, everyone's kind of just eyeing the situation, and even the bartender is already kind of watching this, and you can see him kind of edging towards the phone as if it needs to be, as if he needs to possibly get ready to call the MPs for a drunken brawl. And this guy goes, "You don't cause trouble in the bar, but you sure do kill a number of our friends."
So collateral damage is most regrettable, but could not be helped.
Collateral, my ass. You aimed for them.
Not purposely. If I was purposely aiming for them, I would have gotten the whole wing.
And at this point, he looks like he's going to swing, but his two friends are kind of like, "That's not worth it, dude." But he definitely does look like he is, no, Ivan, let's just say he does not take Ivan's, words with the best of manner. Yeah, now how do we know who's next? You're just gonna blow up the entire air wings?
Depends. Are you going to be in they? Look, we are at war, gentlemen. I
Yeah.
made a judgment call.
Your judgment call shot people who we're supposed to be working with. Unless you
And
don't
I
remember.
also blew up enemy commander. Entire platoon of enemies. Enemies that would have walked right over the rest of our position, would have walked right into the SDF, would have raped, pillaged, and murdered everybody they would have found. But because I eliminated the primary threat of the enemy command structure, which, if judging by your rank pin, you know the first rule of war is eliminate the command structure.
And he kind of, his friends kind of let him go, and he kind of just shrugged them off. And he's like, what can we expect from a Russian? Cold, calculating, and willing to sell out their own mother for a couple of bucks. Kill a couple of people for fun. We know how you commies work. And he kind of just, and he starts to go back to the bar. And you can tell he's drunk, by the way. Like, he's right pills, as a couple of my UK friends would tell me.
So, Ivan toddles up to the bar and is like, 2. One for my friend here and one for myself.
And the bartender, no one has stopped looking at you two yet, because tensions are still high with all of the stuff. Everyone's on edge, and the last thing people want is another bar fight.
So,
And they're keeping an eye on this just in case they also need to beat it before the MPs get here. Mostly for that last one, than anything. Because no one wants to get arrested when the MPs show up, because the MPs are never fun.
mm-hmm.
But you do get your the drink, and he does give it to the other guy, and the other guy doesn't look happy to be getting that drink, at all. And can you roll me a 1d6?
Well, I certainly can.
Interesting. I'll keep that in mind for later. He drinks it down, don't he? Slams it back down on the counter, and him and his couple of buddies leave, and slowly everything kind of starts going back to normal in the bar, and people notice that there's not going to be a bar fight inside of the bar, at least. They don't care what happens outside, but if it happens inside, then everyone gets questioned, and weekend passes get removed. It's way too much trouble if it happens inside the bar.
So.
But with that, it's kind of at that point, the rest of you guys, in the next day or two is going to be the Miss Macross competition. And Silver Squadron, being the most rested, was put forward as the on-duty flight patrol, since they haven't really been going out at all. And
oh no!
And it keeps the silver penny away from the girls, so they feel safer.
That is not even fair. I'm healed up. He's back in the game. And what if he wanted to be in the Mac? I wanted to get pretty and be in the contest. Prettier some of those girls. Betcha.
Now, if I recall from fourscore and many moons ago from the last session, I believe some of the security was also being for the contest was going to be provided by the Fusiliers as well.
And yep, you guys are also though the security you guys are providing is more for the outside of the ship, since you guys, well, at least you and one other platoon of, or one other detachment of 4 are going to be sitting on the outside of the hole as part of the skeleton crew, while the other ones are going to do security and hopefully not get too wasted on job.
No, they won't because because I'm pretty sure Ivan has put the fear of God into them that there could be a potential terrorist attack.
But with that though, it's the day of the event, and as you know, as Sammy had set it up, she's the first one up on duty, and just a lone terminal with one of the other girls there set up on radar and control. Just the 3 of you up on that bridge right now. Silverworth, your flight has been dispatched, though you all are having to, due to being fairly stretched thin, you guys are all being kind of separated from each other, but within close enough range that if something were to pop up, hopefully everything should, you should be able to get people, to your position fairly quickly.
So,
And of course, Ivan, you're sitting on the hull doing nothing. You're probably playing, poker inside of your battle, your monster. I almost said battle mech.
Yeah, so can say that Lieutenant Zukova is in the Miss Macross contest. My 2 co-pilots for today are probably Sergeant Timurovich and Sergeant Olegovich.
Mm-hmm. They filled in, they've got the Miss Macross competition well and truly placed on a screen of your choice, so they can all watch it while everyone's waiting for something to happen. Lucas, are you watching the display at all, or the Miss Macross competition? Have you keyed in your frequency to watch it?
well, if bastards have kept me out of there, should be there anyway. Then yes, I suppose I understand. I mean, the TVs are always on, right? There's always someone. They're always looking at each other.
Yeah, you don't always have to be looking at someone. You in this case, all of your panels are just displaying information for flying, but you've set up that right one there. Would you set it up on the right panel or the center display?
Are you a responsible parent or are you an irresponsible one?
I mean, I'm both.
I mean, you could set it up across all 3 if you want.
Suicidal parent.
I can't hear you.
Don't I have sensors to tell me that I have bad guys showing up, so I don't actually need to be looking out? I can use all the panels.
Yeah, no, it should all work.
I like how you're just going to scare me in the meta, so I'll just keep it on that, but it will have to be center panel, but not all 3. There, compromise.
Compromise, you set it up on the center panel, you don't need the rest of the flight information. You're flying in empty space, there's been no reports of anything flying about.
You don't care about any of your co-pilots.
I care about them all. I told them all to be tuning in as well. We have to know what happened.
Oh, you're telling all of them to tune in. Interesting. I'll mark this down for later.
This is important for later.
Remember that.
Maybe I was joking?
No, it's too
late.
late. You said it.
That is an in-character response. That is definitely an
that's in character because that is totally what he would do.
I think it is.
He would definitely say, you're all authorized, and someone would be like, do we have to though? I'd really like to. I just said do it.
Yeah, shut up and do it.
We're going to be talking about this later.
No.
Post patrol, we're having drinks. We're all going to be talking about it.
There'll be a quiz later.
But I think actually,
who had the nicest top?
I will change my mind. I'll tell everybody to keep it in their lower panel, and he'll do the same. He won't be above the rest of them. But he has told everybody that they better take notes. We're talking about it later.
All right, you set it up on one of the panels, and for the most part, you're kind of eyeing that, and occasionally, maneuvering onto the points that you need to head towards for patrol. And the squadron's fairly spread out, so it should be fine. You guys should be able to pick up anything along with the ship sensors. And the show starts, and It's a rather boisterous event, to say the least. There's fireworks going off inside. There's, music.
Am I on bridge duty or am I allowed to watch?
I don't know, Captain.
DJ. He is official, the official representative of the bridge crew, and therefore he's either judge or DJ.
Ah.
He is the
Okay.
morale officer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which would you prefer?
DJ.
All right.
What?
So-
You don't want to be the MC?
You don't want to judge it? Come on. See, Archie should be there as a judge. He really should.
You see, I know better than to be a judge.
Oh no! Why would that be a bad thing?
Because the plot demands that I not make any decisions.
But your harem awaits you.
You just say yes to all of
Look,
them.
the formula demands.
Yes.
I don't know. Hold on, let me roll 1d3.
All right.
Yeah,
1 is MC, 2 is...
DJ?
Yeah, 3 is judge.
Roll three. Roll three. Roll three.
One.
Three.
I know. Oh, come on.
Okay.
That's a what? It is an actual D3. So.
Boo.
Boo, DJ.
Quit doing what you're good
Yeah.
at.
So you've set up. They've set you up as DJ. So of course, when the show starts, you play, not one of your tunes, but a boisterous,
Yeah,
Oh,
contest song.
something that fits the event.
do you
Yeah.
have a DJ name, or do you just go by Alex Mertz?
I don't have a DJ.
Okay. The Miss Macross pageant,
Oh,
Oh.
DJ by Alex Mertz.
For those about to rock,
Wrong track.
we salute you.
But so the event starts off with the fireworks display, and of course, all 23 of the women there are lined up with which it's rather hilarious when it goes across the line, for most of them being fairly average height women, and then all of a sudden just shoots upwards when it gets to our very own Russian.
And none of them have a human natural hair color.
Mm. Well, no, one of them does have brown hair.
Everything else is pastels and
Yeah.
neon.
She's the shortest.
But for the most part, everything there seems to be going pretty well for the part. And of course, they all roll out, and the initial stages, they're all in their swimsuits, posing and everything, and you can all see, well, just how much these women are going to wear their swimsuits and how well their bodies are done, and it's very apparent which ones are military by their six-pack bricked abs, because this is anime and all of them are really, and all of the military women are they've got six-pack abs that you could grind ham off of. And so they started off, and the MCs there and introduced everyone. Welcome to the Miss Macross competition. We may not be on the Macross Island we all used to live on. We're still here on the SDF Macross, here and willing to make this event still happen with the support of our military forces and our great captain. Everyone claps and cheers. Yay! And now we introduce the contestants, and they go down the line, and each one of them gives, some kind of character thing, and something that they've done. And one of them was one of them is a doctor who's on board who once helped out children in South Africa. One of them is, a professional water polo player. One of them even has a women's championship in wrestling. And then, of course, it gets to Danilovna. And Lucas, I need you to roll me a d6 really quickly.
That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Here we
The sheer
go.
fact that he's rolling it and I'm not means that hilarity is about to ensue.
Well, you know, he's paying attention. Archie's paying attention to two women. Well, he's paying attention to all the women, but he's really focused on Jacobs and Cernova. So, not Cernova.
You're
That's
rather
Ivan.
engrossed in this.
Yeah, of course I am. I just said it.
You're paying a lot of attention to this. Like,
Too much.
it's at the point where you're kind of, instead of looking forward at the screen like this and occasionally glancing down, you've just kind of relegated your head to kind of this position
Uh-oh.
as you're paying attention to it. And, the music fills you, your headset as it reverberates and plays. And, you see her rather well-sculpted body, to say the least. And she's like, I was a military here, and, and she struggles to think of something that she's done good, and she's like, I once wrestled bear that wanted to steal company rations. And there's like an awkward, everyone's still clapping and stuff, and someone's like, wow, you wrestled the bear. That is amazing. Next contestant. And it continues going down the line. And, of course, even Lin Minmay is there. And, she says she says that she's been, that she hopes to start up a music career, and that she wishes to, and that she works in a restaurant here on the SDF Macross with her family. And everyone cheers, and at that point they're like, and now that the swimsuit section is over and these wonderful women have introduced each other, is going to be next on to the talent section of the show. And all the women, they wave as they all walk to the back and start getting ready for the talent section. So there's a lull and the stuff, and everything's going on. And
It would
at
be
this point,
if I can have a second. At that age, like as soon as we have a lull, Ivan will click on comms to Archie, be like, "So, Lieutenant Silverworth, who are you betting on?"
And it's at this point, by the way, you wouldn't even know he queued up for a couple of seconds, and you just see him staring at you on the side comms as you kind of glance up to look at your nav coordinates, and
I'm like, ugh, God. Quit jumping into my Veritech. It's bad enough I had to run through the streets in a dress with you. Gosh, I have...
You need the chill.
No, I wasn't watching, but...
Bullshit. Now hurry up and make a bet.
I don't have any... I didn't have any money to bet, but I'm going with Zakova. I'm going with her. I have to say. He needs doing this. He's just like, mm-hmm. Of course, I'd like to see the talent portion, of course. That's my most favorite part of a competition. Yeah.
It's a shame you're not there in person. Pretty sure Danny Lovna would have used her talent at breaking you.
I know.
Would have been a real crowd pleaser.
I would have loved it. Break man over knee, and I would have volunteered. But alas, they threw me up into space. Wish you were up here with me. It'd be a lot of fun. Scratch that.
Monsters don't fly so close.
No.
But on that note, how does sensors mean? Quite, I hope.
Oh, what did you say? You're asking how with the sensor? Oh.
Yes. How does sensors mean?
Yeah,
job.
Just clicking of keys, like, huh? Yeah, quiet. Boring quiet. But that's good. Quiet. Good quiet.
Yeah, if you'd like to make a roll for it, by the way, you can, because you haven't been paying attention to your sensors at all.
Oh, I'm just looking at the sensors right now, Mike. Come on.
Oh yeah, they don't seem to show anything.
What?
He's literally looking out the window at the pointing things. I'm looking at them right now. They're right there.
Those are the stars.
I found them.
Well,
They're right there. And then I swivel my head thing underneath. The sensors go left. They go right. They work just fine.
And then they go pew 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 when I press this button.
Yeah, and there's lasers on the side too to make sure those are working.
I've
got laser scanners.
feel like I don't need to make a roll, Mike, because I know how to read sensors in a ship.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to.
F-
You can
No.
definitely read these sensors, and these sensors, as far as you know, are displaying
See,
everything is fine.
once again,
You're not dead.
once you're freaking me out in the meta, which I just
Hey, I'm just here as the GM. I do nothing.
no,
All
you're
the
not
fear
just
is
the
on your
GM.
own
You're
end.
you're also playing with our minds.
I'm just saying that maybe this is revenge for Alexander not getting enough ice cream for the group.
That's not my fault. You're the one that made up that bit about your character. Give me a break.
I know.
But
Yeah,
He's
no, I'm
making
just
up
here.
this
You
bit
know,
about your character.
all of the fear is on your end.
All
Is
right.
it real? Is it unfounded? It's probably both.
If I check the sensors, I would respond quickly with counter position, and I would probably do man at arms because it's again the expertise.
We're going to counter the position of the not being used
That's right.
radar system.
What's my target number?
Your target number is going to be 5. Actually, you know what? Since you've been fairly
Oh.
distracted, it's going to be 6.
Okay. Well,
one success.
Yeah.
All right, and I have to roll something here from my end.
Does it still count as 2 since it's still a 6?
Yep, it will count as 2 for this one.
Okay, so it was not a 5.
I just need to pull up something and do some rolls of my own. Don't worry.
Just got to roll the 14 alien dice. That will destroy us every single time because we're just puny humans. Join us Tuesday for that.
You may be squishing human. I am Ivan. I am robust bear.
As much as I believe that about Ivan, I still, if he goes up against a xenomorph, I feel like he's gonna have a very bad day. Maybe not as bad as some other humans. More like the Rock, like the old school The Rock from the Alien 3 movie, where he fights it at the very end, bare-fisted. Awesome. For a moment until it kills him. Oh, spoilers.
But yeah, no. So your sensors don't display anything.
Well, I got 2 successes, so I did everything I could possibly do. Wait a minute. Wait, what's am I in my wheelhouse right now? I have
Not doing your job
No.
is technically in your wheelhouse.
That's
Technically, you are not in your element.
But you're not in your element. Yes,
No.
that's a different thing.
That's what I meant. That's what I was trying to find. I was like, yep, no, I am definitely not. Okay, so yeah, 2 successes tells me everything I need to know. Space is quiet. So I'm like, space is boring and quiet, the good kind. He's checking over, like, don't tell Jacobs that I didn't think she's going to get number 1. I think, you know what? Whatever, Ivan. I never said anything to you, and I click him off.
And like
Oh.
Ivan in the cockpit will look at the other 2 gentlemen and go like, he's so cranky.
To be fair, you did blow up some of his friends.
I swear, is everybody going to hold that over my head?
I don't care. They weren't my friends, but I'm saying that's probably why he's upset.
The Soviet Russia cannon drive you.
To be fair, we're not in Soviet Russia anymore, sir.
I miss the good old days.
And so finally, eventually, the show comes back, and it's the talent portion. They're slowly going through them.
In between, I was hoping to have been playing some music that would like choosing a track that would like hype the crowd up for the next portion of the competition.
All right, yeah, roll it.
See, I'm gonna be rolling.
And you will be you will have the edge in us, so you will hit on 4s, 5s, and 6s.
So I'm going to be doing star quality and I think grand presence.
Mm-hmm.
all the single ladies. All the single ladies.
So it's 3, 4, 5 successes.
All right, yeah, no, you're definitely able to get the crew hyped up, and you're drawing everyone's attention who's watching this and listening to this, which includes those who are technically not supposed to be watching it on the outside of the hall.
That's their fault.
That's their fault. But the choice of music just accentuates everything. It's getting everyone kind of hyped up, and at this point, you've started to fall back into that lull again of just watching for both Danny Lovna and
Me again?
yeah. Unfortunately, you're really paying attention to this. You
Wait, I thought I make the roll. Why did you just?
well, yeah, you did make the roll earlier, and you were really infatuated with what was going on.
Maybe Ivan woke me out of it, and so now I'm paying more attention to space. You know, all that space.
Would you actually take it to him to give you some kind of help there? Or would you think about shutting him off, muting him, and ignoring him, and going back and watching the show?
He just shut him off because he started to worry. He's like, wait a minute, I wasn't talking nice about Jacobs. And he said that to another person, so he's just like, he got flustered and just shut him off. It had nothing to do about patrol or being mad at Ivan for the past, even though that is our drama. So, but I feel like he probably would start watching again, maybe, but try to keep a little bit better eye, maybe. I don't know. If you don't think so,
I'll give you another D6.
I'd like him to have a possibility. Maybe I shook him a little bit. I don't know what that means, but it's a 5 this time instead of a 2.
You're paying a little bit better attention, but it's still kind of engrossing you.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what these shows do.
Damn them and their catchy tunes.
Stupid reality TV. I hate reality TV, and I'll still get caught looking at one too long sometimes. Like, my wife will be watching, like, this looks like it's stupid. So what's going on?
Next up on
it is.
It's Macross pageant.
And then 5 minutes later, I'm like,
The
oh.
lovely Minmay.
But yeah, no, for the most part, you know, the show continues to go on. But definitely the music seems to be really pulling people's attention into the show really well, which definitely did not help. Yeah, it did not help Silverworth's attempts at focusing. And why does he have to be such a bad squadron leader?
Shut
yeah, no,
up.
for them,
Shut your face up there.
But eventually, you know, the talent part does start, and at this point, Captain, you're seeing, you know, of course, one of the displays set up there, with your permission, would have been, you know, the Miss Macross competition if you would have allowed the other people up there to watch it.
It's over here to the left and out of my view, so I won't be distracted because I am still single.
I kind of figured.
Legally, he's still single. He doesn't define his relationship very well.
But for the most part, yeah, no, you can still hear the music and you're kind of tapping along with it. It's catchy enough for like an elevator tune for a pageant show. And, you know, a couple of the other girls occasionally kind of lean over and look at it, and, you know, is the captain occasionally leaning over and looking at it?
He's still worried.
Nope. Yeah.
He's in worry mode, so he's
But
pretty
for the
much
most part,
even his wine is sitting there undrank.
And, you know, of
Which is
course,
probably not helping his mood.
Yeah, and Sammy, of course, is, you know, when she sees that, she's like, "Sir, if you need to, you can take a nap. We won't mind. We'll let you know the moment we get anything on radar."
Steady as you are, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. You know, she kind of meekly goes back down, like,
She's like, "Ooh."
and here I am trying to help. The captain's being a bully. No.
Sweater with a hat. No.
Assault! But no, at this point though, it's going along. You know, there's, you know, talent competition. Someone's really good at juggling, which, I mean, it's a talent. One of them recites, you know, 27 digits of pi.
Wow, all 27.
That's a lot of digits of pi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that was funny, but it was.
One of them made pie.
In 27 minutes.
It wasn't fully cooked though. Someone got pulled away.
It was
No.
potato pie, no less, because that's about the only thing we've managed to grow is potatoes.
One stole a cart with 10 pies on it. Or 2 carts with 10 pies on it. That's 20 pies, and that's diabolical.
And of
Close
course,
enough.
there's a couple of people dancing, and when it gets to Danny Lovna, she does the only thing that she can imagine is one of her true talents, and that is show off her pure, unbridled Russian strength.
Oh yeah.
She rips a bear in half.
Well, no, she starts off small.
Ivan and his 2 team members in the monster are probably fully distracted because we're all like, "Yes, do it for Mother Russia!"
And she starts off small she starts off small. She starts with a phone book that she just rips in half with her bare hands. Then she moves on to some weightlifting with 400 pounds of weight that she deadlifts at this point. And then finally, she does the only thing she can imagine as the best finisher, and she has 3 watermelons. One under each arm, one between the thighs, and crush, and watermelon all over the stage.
Oh, that's where Archie loses his crap right there, probably. I want to be
Your
the
squadron leader is
watermelon.
floating around just like fine, just absent-mindedly through space, and suddenly he's in a spin.
Yeah.
Chuck is probably
takes a few
vomiting
minutes.
in the gunner's seat.
I think
It takes a few minutes for them to clean up the stage after that one.
I feel like Archie starts screaming something and he accidentally hits the comms back on with Ivan for a second, and you just see him going, I want to be the watermelon. I want to be the oh crap. Shuts it back up.
Which probably is not noticed by the Russian team because when you clicked on to the comms, all you were hearing was just a lot of very, very proud Russian screaming.
Yeah, that's good.
I more imagine it's not Russian screaming, it's you're singing a song, drunk as a skunk.
Oh, Mother Russia.
And that's all he sees for the moment as he, like, that last second, as he realizes you're not even paying attention, as he cuts it off and he just says, like, what are they doing?
It's almost close to bonding with Ivan. It's almost too close to bonding. Got to be careful.
But
we might have something in common.
While you're entirely distracted, I get to roll something with a lot of dice. Oh God!
Come to your
Hope
world.
you're making a GM panic roll and you roll a 15.
Let's go with 2 of those. And yeah, we'll use this skill.
My system has a button for that. You just push one button and everyone panics.
It's the depressurization button.
Hear something? Uh-oh.
I smell space.
Smell space.
Quick, bail the space out. The space is getting him.
I smell blue.
All right, so I've got to roll actually a couple of things here.
Don't.
I'm evil.
Don't.
No, I gotta, man. It's my job.
You don't got to do
I gotta put you down, Old Yeller.
Oh, shut up. Hey, no. We don't talk about Old Yeller here like that. It's sad. Still sad.
Oh,
Spoilers. Spoilers, by the way.
7,000-year-old movie.
All right.
Spoilers.
All right.
It's
Ozzy.
old. Spoilers. It was
Okay,
a
so I'm
person
gonna say
talking
this
the whole
is,
time.
This is gonna hurt. It's gonna really hurt.
Oh, by the way, before you hurt me, am I healed? And if so, what am I supposed to be healed up to?
Oh yeah, your Veritech, you are fully healed, and the Veritech is also fixed. So you have all of your breakable parts.
So it says I have wounds 3. So
Might be useful in this section.
am I wounds 0 now?
Yep, you're back up to full.
What's my...
Yep, you are
That's
at,
just your max wounds is 3.
Yeah, you're at full max wounds of 3.
Okay.
They go down when you get actually hurt.
should bank 3 out of
Then
3.
you go into critical range.
I thought he had some drama armor.
He does, which
I have 3 drama.
let me pull up
Increases
trauma
your,
armor.
it increases your health, I believe, is what.
I think that's why I have wounds 3 written. I don't know where my health is actually.
No, you normally have 3 wounds.
You have drama armor.
Yeah, it increases your wound total for every
Wait.
drama that you have. You normally have
So, like
3
in the
wounds.
case of Ivan, because he's got one drama armor, his normal 4 wounds before he takes a critical is now 5 wounds before he takes a critical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
the
why.
same with you.
Okay.
Yeah, which you have.
I have 3 wounds and 3 drama.
Yeah.
Yep, so you'll have 6 total wounds.
I guess I'll
Yep. Same here.
it's a lot of drama, man. But our Vertex
And-
are all up to speed.
They're all fixed.
I still have those 3
And
points to spend. I'm sorry, go ahead.
let me see. I gotta count this up. 2, 4, 6.
I never spent my 3 upgrade
7.
points to my Veritech because I've been waiting to get more.
Sorry, I counted that wrong. 2, 4, 6, 7.
So my hardware is 4 for 4. Armor and structure both 2 for 2. Nothing's destroyed. Everything's nominal.
Okay, so it's at this point when you are, when you slap the comms back off, in your quick haste, you also press the button that turns your panel back to your actual display panel, what it's supposed to be, and as you turn it off, or turn off the show, right, of course, as Melody is coming out. And when you do,
Melody Jacobs.
a lovely Melody Jake, and right as you do, all you hear on the inside now is beep 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 in the hall. And as you see about 20 different red triangles tracing in on your location,
Oh.
something has launched missiles at you, and you're only able to see this right as the missiles are about to impact, explosions popping all around the canopy and around your fighter. How do I say this lightly? 13 damage.
Holy shit!
Oh my god. You have never shot down, right?
Yes, I do.
He's about to use it.
Yeah.
Let's see how much of my Veritech can get wrecked before I have to.
Wait, was it 13? I gotta count again.
I think what you meant to say was 3, and you actually threw a
No.
1 in front of there.
Unfortunately, you only rolled a fair amount of 6s.
Oh, actually there was a period in between the 1 and the 3, so it's a 1.3 missiles.
I think you can take
Sorry,
1, 2, 3.
16, not 13, 16.
1, 2,
Oh,
3,
why not?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I'm not sure how much hardware and armor and structure
9, 10, 11.
takes away. Is it 1 for 1 on everything?
Yep, it's 1 for 1 on everything. You
So-
can also damage your systems.
You soak a certain amount,
Uh,
but not much.
Yeah.
I think you can get. If you
Which-
completely trash everything, maybe 15, if I'm counting right.
And you have 16 damage before your armor.
Oh yeah, good point.
So,
Wait, actually, let me check to make sure these things don't have armor piercing.
so I would have I would take 14 damage. My armor would be gone, but I have 2 structure and 4 hardware. Could I get rid of all 6 of that?
Yep. Then there's your systems, and I think your features or your weapons.
Got to keep a couple of those weapons.
You can break hard points in systems. Not all features are considered hard points.
Say that again. What do you mean? Features.
So, like your transforming and detachable cockpit and that stuff. Let's see. 1, 2. I'm sorry to throw this right at the end of the session, but this is the perfect time to attempt to murder you.
Am I rolling anything
good to know.
today, or is this the cliffhanger for next time?
This will definitely be the cliffhanger, but let's figure out how dead how bad things are going to be. But this is definitely going to be the cliffhanger. Actually, how about we figure that all out off screen to leave everyone who's watching in the fear of you having just taken 16 damage of missiles to the face because
I think that
somebody wasn't paying attention to their panel.
it's because you made me roll a dice. That's all. It was not my fault.
Hmm.
I'm claiming innocent.
Hey, even you said
Lucas.
you were pretty into the watermelon.
No, I want it to be the. Doesn't matter, Mike. Whatever. I think it's just me screaming and trying to throw my Veritech to try to avoid all the damage, and there's probably lots of explosions, right? And then
Yep, there's explosions filling all around your Veritech as these 20-something missiles tracked
20?
in around you.
13, 16, 20, whatever number you want to pick out of your hat. Yep, and then explosions.
And all we see is the camera, as the explosions fade, all we see is a small chunk of debris with the Silver Squadron logo on it. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Dang it. So good.
And with that, I am Harukajunko, Robotech Master, and now start us off for all of our call outs for this tonight. And I'd just like to say thanks again for showing up, everyone who did show up. I have an absolute wonderful time GMing with you guys, even if half the time it is us joking around and just having a really good time. Um, I don't really have too much to shout out. I do want to shout out my good friend EG Magnum, who both EG Magnum and Groovy and the SMG Discord. Uh, SMG Strange Machine Games are the ones who developed the system for the Robotech and the Macross Saga, and I definitely recommend anyone to just head into that Discord and just check it out because I absolutely love everyone in there. God. But besides that, thank you EG Magnum and Groby for both being players and who play with me on other days of the week, and Grubby for giving me horrible ideas on how to torture you all, which, let's just say, some of the next adventures, if you guys survive this one, may not happen on the outside of the ship. Hope you all remember basic CQC. But besides that, I'm going to pass it off to the captain, and we'll go from there.
All right, I'm Soundwavesghost. I play here. Sometimes I get to play the captain. Sometimes I get to play alternate versions of my twisted imagination, and sometimes I get to kill my players, both by letting them kill themselves. Over on a Alien RPG by Free League, which we're going to be starting up hopefully Tuesday, and we at least want to make sure we're past the end of character creation and introduce the world to the players. There's some of it in tease to them, but they really haven't literally dived into it yet, simply because taking a break from the Chariot of the Gods scenario, which was, I wouldn't say stressful, but I would say they felt stressed.
Thanks, Lucas.
No.
Thank you, Lucas.
I brought relief to that stress, merely.
You did. You definitely did. You
blew us
definitely
up, you
capstoned it
traitor.
off. There was no more stress when you were done with it.
Cam. I love Cam. I'm going to reuse that character. Anyways.
Yeah. But the campaign's going to be centered on a section of the Colonial Marines. They're stationed to a self-made system using the rules from the book to make a star system. And hopefully it'll be an interesting ride. I'm finishing up setting the overall campaign this weekend, like the big points, which is it's an interesting system to build because it's built with the idea that campaigns can be random and still be fun. With the fact that there's a generator that you can roll on just to get an idea for the mission, but the fact that the world itself and the players build the tension more than you have to because it's a game about taking things away. Your resources are limited in space, and your players are greedy by accident or on purpose, depending on the ones. But anyway, also the opposite Tuesday, I get to play another version of the same guy I played a million times before, and on Dungeon World. So come out for that too. That's fun. Next week's will be the alien though. So I think that's it for me. Talk way more than I should have. Pass it to what looks like to my left. I think I'm not in the actual Twitch picture anymore, but Jodo1025.
Thank you very much. So, I am Jodo1025, aka Ivan Suranova, aka many other faces here on Lucas's channel. So, I thank you all for coming up to watch tonight's stream. I've been looking forward to this getting back started. Poor Ivan has been wanting out of the creation closet since we had to take a break for a little bit. So it's good to start working in Russian again. Um, but when I am not here, which is not very frequent, I'm in the Dungeon World game, the Aliens game, and this, of course. Um, but you can find me over at twitch.tv/Jodo1025 on a fairly regular basis. We are currently taking a short break. Next week, I got life stuff I have to get a handle on, so I will not be broadcasting next week. You guys will see me here on Tuesday of next week, but after that, I go bye for just a little bit. But I will be back the week after with Titans of Moran, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure on the 10th, and then even more awesome is on June 13th, we have Maureen's Mad Menagerie, a continuation of our major Extra Life charity fundraiser, where our party has to stop Maureen the Mad from collecting more very strong, inappropriate pets. Last time she tried to get a Tarrasque. I'm terrified of what she found this time. So that one is actually going to be run by Mr. Mighty M, he who plays Beeble for Titans of Moran. So it's definitely going to be worth a watch. It's going to be a gas, and it's all to raise money for sick children. So, and then after I get through next week too, I will also be I have some stuff that I'm also putting into pipeline now because, well, I will be have a lot more free time until August, so you should see me a little bit more frequently. So, and I'm hoping that maybe I can even recruit some of these fine gentlemen, these fine test dummies. I mean players into my madness, but we shall see. But
I don't participate in madness. I facilitate. I don't participate.
I am the madness.
So, but yeah,
you.
big thank you to Junko for GMing, having a lot of fun. Big thank you to my castmates. It's a lot, again, always fun to kind of. We didn't really get a lot of chance to bounce off of one another today, but soon.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And then, of course, big thank you to Lucas, who got me on this road of madness now 2 years running.
Wow, already? Thanks.
Yep. So, but I will turn it over to Mr. Mr. Mecha.
Yeah, I'm Mecha Meme, also known as Alex Matz. I'm just having a great time getting to play with you guys again, getting back into this game after a couple months doing Season 2. It's been a pleasure getting to play again, and I'd just like to thank all you guys for getting us all back together, and Lucas for getting me into this crazy gig in the first place. And on that note, I'll pass it up to Lucas.
Thank you. I like Alex Max. Now, you can't always be Tommy Lee or Tommy Ying. Was it Tommy Ying? Starring in your own action ninja movie, but
yeah,
you can still be Alex Max.
Fulang.
Fulang, Golden Fat. Oh, well. Anyways, hey guys, I'm Lucasgvariety. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. This is like the biggest show. We have like 10 people that were here tonight. Thank you for all the viewers that are around. Thank you for gift sub, Soundwavesghost, to Frost Jaeger. Thank you very much. Props. Appreciate it. And the support. And all going back to the channel. So thank you everybody that was here. And think about subscribing and following in the future. I think. Whoa. Soundwavesghost is now following. Thank you, Soundwaves, for also staying on and party hard, Wayne. Party hard, Garth.
I just push buttons. I don't know what it did.
Hey, I'll take it. I like seeing the little alerts pop up. But yeah, they pretty much covered it. Alternating Tuesdays, Alien RPG with Dungeon World, and then this on Friday nights. And then after Robotech, down the road, we'll figure it out. But Band of Blades is coming, and that's my next super big project that I'm excited about.
Whatever you do, don't praise Lucas too much. He gives you power and expects you to use it responsibly, and it's the worst.
And you try to do it all the same.
Power, you say?
Power.
Infinite cosmic power?
Itty bitty living space.
Oh my goodness. There
Be
is
living power,
they're
too.
popping all over. Thank you, Harukajunko, as well. Thanks, guys. I don't have much of a voice left, and I'm not even the GM tonight. I don't know what's going on, so we'll end it here. But I thank you all for coming out. Come back every Tuesday and every Friday right now as we do this thing. And thank you for being a part of the community and watching over us. So we appreciate it. So until next time, guys, you have a good night. God bless and good gaming. We'll see you guys later. Peace, guys. Much love.